Welcome everyone, hope you're having a very wonderful day, and welcome to my guide for Raccoon dogs for Salwiesen. Before we begin, I want to quickly break down how today's guide is going to work. So our first section will be covering all their hotspots and locations, and then our second section will be covering weapon recommendations, where I'm going to recommend 5 of my favorite weapons to hunt these guys with, and then we'll end today's video with the animal profile, which is a custom map, time zones, ammo chart, everything you need to make your hunting life 10 times easier. So let's get right into it by quickly talking about where these guys don't reside, because it's a lot easier explaining that than trying to show you guys where they reside on the map. So I'm going to open up really quick, and I just want to quickly clarify these guys do drink between the times of 10 to 13, and you know, it's kind of great because on the other map that they reside on, you can only find them at night, so I'm definitely going to be playing this if I want diamond raccoon dogs. Now, let's get into where they don't reside. So we have this entire marsh area right here. Now this is just duck central. You're not going to have any raccoons dogs here unless they're connected to the mainland. For example, like right here, we have a zone right there. We have a zone there and there. So they're not going to ever be in the marsh systems, just like over here as well. All that stuff is for either the geese or the ducks. So just keep that in mind when you're out there hunting, but all the other water zones across the map are fair game. So we're going to just tab back out here real quick, and we're going to walk to our hotspot. Now, I don't know if we're going to get good visuals, as I've kind of already blown through this area recently, taking out a few of the animals that I've been checking out on. What do we got here? We got some teal. But we should be able to come over here and see that this is a pretty good hotspot for raccoon dogs. If they're not there, I am sorry. It is just probably due to the hotspots here. But I do want to point out that this spot here is really solid. We should have maybe about between 5 or 6 raccoon dogs at this one location. Not only that, you have another zone right next to them. And then when you come across from here and then you take this right, you can come down this little waterway. And we have quite a few raccoon dogs here. So I marked this as a hotspot. It could be different for you guys, but it seems pretty consistent for me. Now the other waterways are not so good. And to be quite honest with you, I don't really like hunting them as there's just too much grass and stuff. And you're going to want to hunt there with a shotgun. Now we do see some raccoon dogs over there. We have visuals on 3 of them. Can't highlight them because they're too far away. But we should also have some right in front of us, but I don't see them at all. Which is very, very unfortunate because I want to showcase this hotspot. Oh, is there 4? Nope, there is 4 right there. So I wonder if those guys are the ones all the way back there. So that means we are missing the group that is in front of us. But you guys do know that there is quite a few raccoon dogs here now. Oh, nope, this is the group that actually is supposed to be at this zone. Very nice. We should have another level 6 somewhere. But as I will just show you guys one more time, we have a zone here, we have another zone here, and then we just have a bunch down this waterway. So this is a hotspot. I recommend checking it out. And I think this is just going to end the animal locations and hotspot zones for the raccoon dogs. I'm going to head back to the outpost where I will be doing my weapon recommendations here in just a second. Alrighty folks, so here we are back at the outpost. Before we begin, I want to quickly say 3 things. First things first is I'm only going to be covering rifles, handguns, and shotguns. I'll not be covering bows because I'm not a bow expert, so I'll leave that to professionals. Secondly, these are just my personal recommendations and favorites. I always say go out there and explore and see what suits you and what you enjoy playing with. And then lastly, I will be mentioning all the DLCs weapons come from in case you want to pick them up for yourself. So let's get right into it with our first rifle of the day, which is a base game rifle. The Ranger 243 is a very small, a very good small game rifle. And you know, it's free, you don't have to spend actual money on it. So I recommend picking this bad boy up. It does get the job done compared to a lot of the other weapons. Honestly, I think this thing is way better than the newly added 300. Just from some testing I've done, I just enjoy the 243 more. Moving on to our second rifle of the day. The 22-250 is my favorite small game rifle. Now you can pick this thing up in Emerald Coast, which is a phenomenal map by the way. But the reason why I like it so much is because this thing just drops all the small animals really well. You know, I think it's just very comparable to the 243 in my opinion. I've even used this thing every so often to kill whitetail, which, you know, it doesn't have a bad drop rate on them. But we're here talking about raccoon dogs, and it drops these raccoon dogs pretty well. So I recommend picking this bad boy up. It's a very good small game rifle. Moving on to handguns, since I've already recommended the 243 base game, you guys should automatically know that I am definitely going to be recommended the 243 Kumo. Now this is a very phenomenal pistol. It's probably the second best pistol in the game, just right below the 4570 Jernberg Superior. But what makes this a really good pistol, even though it's a single shot, is that you can put a rifle scope on it, which gives you that extra zoom in range compared to all the other pistols, which just makes it fabulous for taking out these small animals. And you can find this bad boy in the assorted assorted sidearms weapon pack. Yeah, that's what I think it is. So you guys should go check that out. Now, moving on to our second handgun of the day. I actually was going to have 3 rifles, but, I've been using this thing, the 410 45 Colt. This thing has been phenomenal and a truly beautiful blessing for this map. I recommend picking this bad boy up. It's not only good for taking out raccoons, the red fox, and all that other stuff, but it will kill birds really well with those 410, although with some drop. But for raccoon dogs, it's pretty good. It does drop them immediately. I shot one the other day and it kind of cartwheeled through the air. So this thing does the job really well. I will say though, you kind of do have to get a little bit close because the max range for it is like 82 if you have the perk for it. So you're just going to have to creep up to them about 100 yards and just trying to wing it from there. But this thing is really fun to use and you can find it in Weapon Pack 2. Moving on to our third and final weapon of the day, which is a shotgun. You guys should automatically know because I recommend it all the time. The Norden 20 gauge does really well for small animals. It's semi-auto, you have 3 rounds in there, and it's just a blast to use on this map. And you can find this bad boy in the duck and cover pack, which I recommend for this map as well since we have a bunch of ducks on this map anyways. So, with all the way folks, I'm going to head over to the animal profile, so I will see you guys there in just a second. And here we are, folks, at the end of today's video. Before I let you guys go, I'm going to do a quick animal profile breakdown. Starting on the left-hand side, we have all of our basic raccoon dog information. We have our class, difficulty, silver, gold, diamond threshold. We have our weight from least to greatest in kilograms in pounds. We have our fur types covering common, rare, and very rare. Moving on the center map, there's one thing I failed to touch in the first section of today's video, which is on this left-hand side here, we have this entire red hotspot zone. It's all open. I recommend checking it out. There's just a ton of raccoon dogs out there, and it's pretty consistent for respawns. I rarely have to go out here and the bottom portion of the map I dislike and wade through the grass and find them. So it's really nice, so I recommend checking that out. Moving on to the top right-hand corner, we have all of our time zones nice and organized for you. And then below that, we have our ammo chart for those full integrity kills. That pretty much does it for today's video, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you do, please drop a like. It really helps out the channel. And with that out of the way, folks, I hope you guys have a very wonderful day. Happy hunting, good luck, and I will see you guys in the next one.